Gentlemen, fellas, if your woman don't put on her little girl voice when you're around, if she don't sound like a child when she calls you and
Just
asks
know.
you for something, if she don't curl up like a little girl in the bed and when you're around and just crawl up in your little chest and your stomach like that, when you get around, you ain't doing something right. Not doing something right because a woman that feels like you are, I mean, like I'm a curl up on this, you ain't gonna have no room to sit. I'm crawling in this couch with you because, or this chair, whatever. I'm crawling in it because I want, and it ain't daddy issues.
Oh,
That is just simply the little girl
it's
in
healthy,
you.
actually.
It's healthy.
For
And you
sure.
taught me that. You
Yeah.
said, because I was like, why do you were like, I always know when you're talking to that person because
Yes.
your whole voice changes. I was like, no, it don't.
And it does.
And then I realized it does
Mhm.
because I feel like when I'm talking to that person, when I was talking to that person, I felt like I could say anything, I could want for anything, I could. And again, it wasn't just about monetary. Of course, that was great. That person was great at that, but it was more like value. It was just a value. It just, I could hear his voice, and I felt like
Safety.
I felt like everything in the
Safety.
world was stopped. Like
Mhm.
Superman came in, he about to solve every problem, even if it ain't a problem. He about to make this day beautiful.
Yep.
Then he walk in with a smile, even in the midst of chaos.
Mhm.
He cheesing and grinning like ain't shit happening, and I'm just irritated that you cheesing and grinning. And he like, ain't nothing go. It's going like that's big. That's big D energy.
Man, I'm telling you.
That's a man. That's a boss. That's a leader. That's someone that a woman wants to follow.
All right, brothers, real quick, man. I want to talk about something, man. I got just a little bit of daylight, and I want to talk about this, man. I just saw this video, right? Now, I see videos quite often where a woman will come on and she might give some kind of lame example about something a man said or did or something he wore. And a lot of women are saying, hey, well, men are acting sassy. And 9.9 times out of 10, when I hear that, like, I'm like, what are they even talking about? But I heard this young lady say on this video I just watched, she explained something. And I wouldn't have used the word sassy, but the example she gave, I understood where she was coming from. She was like, hey, you know what? I met this guy. We were talking online for a few, I don't know, days or weeks. Anyway, we were finally going on our first date. We had been vibing. We're going to meet at the place. He's got to the place. I'm on my way there. I have a flat tire, maybe like a mile or two before I get there. I text him and tell him I have a flat tire. And the guy pretty much just cancels the date, saying, hey, you know what? Well, maybe next time. And she said, what's wrong with today's guys? And she used that word, today's guys are sassy. And for the first time me hearing a woman say that word, I understood what she was saying in that scenario. Again, sassy isn't the word I would have used, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. And this is something a lot of men need to understand. And I've said something around this topic before. Like we can get online and hear about how much money a man has to make. A man got to be 6'12" with a six pack and make $1 billion a year and have the mansion. We understand that women are drawn to those things on a certain level. But a lot of times what I'm talking about are things that women are drawn to by nature. And I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing that overrides all those material things is when a man walks in big dick energy. Like you have to as a man understand how to walk in that big Richard energy, bro. Like if nothing else speaks to a woman, is that. And when I talk about walking in the energy, like this is one thing you gotta understand. Like, and if I had to sum it all up, I got a few points I want to make, but if I had to sum it all up, you have to always conduct yourself as if you're him. And I'm not saying that you need to be putting on and acting as if you're something you're not. You really need to become him, and that's who you are. Like that's your identity. Like when you think about when a woman is talking about security and attraction and a lot of other words they're using to refer to the man that they're drawn to, it's that a woman wants to feel a certain element when she's around a man. Like when she's around a man, she doesn't want to have to think. She doesn't want to have to problem solve. She doesn't want to have to do any of that. She just wants to sit there and look pretty and skip through a bed of roses, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And when a man isn't acting like he's him, she can't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And when I say act like you're him, like this is just the way that us as men supposed to be. I don't care if you're around your children. I don't care if you're around your girl or your wife. I don't care if you're around your side chick or some mistress or some one night stand chick. I don't care if you're around your auntie or your mom. Every single thing around you, every single thing about you needs to be like, I don't care what takes place, but anything that takes place while I'm in this vicinity, I can take care of it. Like I'm in charge of life right now. And you're okay just because you're in my vicinity. Like if you aren't moving like that, and that's not a man really pumping his chest. That's not a man even saying a certain thing. It's just an energy a man walks in. And I understand like a lot of women are kind of just going live. I think a lot of women have taken on masculine tendencies and they just look at the world a certain way. But some women are making a point when they say some men are moving a certain way. Like some men get online and have conversations, and I understand what they're saying. So you have to walk in that big energy, man, that big D energy. And one of the main factors are you have to act like you're him, man. You know, going back to that young lady scenario, I understand what she's saying. If you're going on a first date with somebody and y'all been vibing, or say y'all haven't been vibing, and she's a mile from the venue and she calls you and says, "I'm finna have a flat." Or if it's a woman that you're dating, y'all been dating for a while, and she said, "I'm having a flat." What she's expecting you to do is say, "Hey, you know what? Hold tight. I'm gonna take care of this." I don't care if you're 3 or 4 cities away. I don't care if you're another state away. I remember some years ago, a woman I dated for long. I wasn't living in Dallas yet. She was living in Dallas. I was still living in East Texas, and she called me on the side of 635 with a flat. I took care of it. I made a couple of phone calls, but you know that's just what a man is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So all this other stuff, man, all this other stuff that men are striving to get the bag and striving to get, good health, as we should be doing all these things, brother, walk in the right energy first. Because again, that's going to override all this other stuff that women are saying they want, man. Walk in that big stick energy, bro. And again, it's just you being him, and everybody in the room can depend on you. It's an energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? The second thing is, and I got a bullet point, to walk in this energy means you don't chase approval. When a man walks in this energy, brother, he's not chasing approval. And when I say a man is not chasing approval, what I'm really saying is a man has locked in his identity, and he doesn't care what the world is doing. Like, it's not going to persuade him. Styles and trends and the way people could talk and the way people do certain things, like those things can come and go, but he's so locked in his identity, like he's not chasing the approval to be accepted by any kind of group or faction. You know what I'm saying? Even if a woman comes in his life and she's like, "Oh, well, the guys I date, they move like this, or they drive like this, or they dress like this, or they do this." He's not moved by that. He's so locked in his identity, man. He's not chasing the approval of men or women. It's an identity thing, man. Again, it's really all falling up under you being him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Locked into your identity, man. Like the way you dress, everything about you, man, it needs to be locked in, bro. And on top of that, man, you have to be a man that, this is key, and I know I'm kind of rambling, and this could have been the first one, man. A lot of guys don't move with intention. Like, to walk with big D energy, man, it really means you're a man that walks with pure intention, which means, let me say it like this. Which means I know that wind is blowing, man. I'm trying to get, if this wind is blowing, if it's loud in the mic, I'll try to get it in editing, man, because it's blowing pretty hard. When I say walking with intention, like when a woman comes into your life, there already needs to be direction. It already needs to be structure. There already needs to be direction. There already needs to be purpose. There already needs to be a way you live. There already needs to be things that you do. Direction, purpose, intention. Like when y'all go on a first date, man, there should be no, y'all are talking on the phone, y'all are FaceTime, and y'all are trying to figure out the first date. You shouldn't be coming with no, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? It should be all about, hey, well, this is who I am. I'm telling you who I am, and these are the things I do. Hey, what are you doing next Saturday? I'm going skydiving. I'm going ATVing. This is what I'm doing. You should join me. It's a different kind of energy, man. What do you want to eat? What do you like doing? What color do you like? Like a man trying to figure out, the back door to a woman so he can gain approval. No, it's like, hey, this is my world. This is my identity. This is what I do. Do you want to come along or do you want to stay where you are? Intention. And you got to understand, like the clip that I put at the beginning of this video, a woman wants to go back into that state of being a little girl when she's around her man. And I'm not talking about immaturity. I'm talking about just that ability to be up under a man's authority. A woman craves that, man. Again, all those things she's talking about, safety, security, all these things. She wants to feel that daddy energy, man. She wants to feel that daddy energy, man. She wants to be able to cut, like the girl said, cuddle up and just kind of fall in your chest and forget about the world. Man. And I'm gonna tell you this. When a woman feels that, when she understands that a man moves in that big D energy, then she fully understands that, hey, you know what? This man might not be at 6 figures. He might not be at 7 figures yet. But with the energy he walks in, I know he can get there. This man might not be 10% body fat. This man might not have the corner office in corporate America yet. But just based on the energy he walks in, I know he can get there. That's why I'm saying it overrides all these things, man. So a lot of times, man, a lot of times when these women get online and they say certain things about man, 10% of the time they're telling the truth, man, because a lot of times men are moving different. A lot of men move different. Like a lot of men of our generation and a lot of men at the generation behind us, like a lot of us are different than our grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if it's the internet, I don't know if it's technology, but a lot of men don't have the it's not as necessary for a man to walk in that energy or whatever, man. It's a different world, man. So a lot of us gotta tighten up. I remember, man, and I can't say her name, but I was talking to this young lady, man. She lived in Louisiana. And I can remember her and we were vibing. We were vibing, man. I don't know what year this was. This is many moons ago. And we were vibing, we were kicking in. We had a good relationship and the whole shebang. And she started entertaining, we were kind of off and on, right? And she started entertaining this guy. I don't know what he did. He wasn't in the league. He did something, man, where he had a big bag. And she was always bragging on her new guy, man. And I remember one day I was in Louisiana. I went by there and I talked to her. And she was telling me all this stuff about this dude. And I was just like, I don't give a damn. Like, I don't, I just started talking my shit. I was like, well, he can't do this. He ain't doing this. He can't da-da-da-da. Like, he ain't me. And I'm just spilling my spiel. And, man, she melted. And she straight up told me in so many words, like, that energy. She didn't say those words, but she was just turned on by that zero fucks given that I had about somebody else and what they were doing and how much they made. I was a young buck back then, man. She melted over that energy. And it wasn't that I was trying to prove something. I really gave zero fucks. I'm like, I ain't gonna say that word, but the MF ain't me. Like, he's not me. He ain't me. And brother, she melted. And I was connected to her for many moons after that, man, strictly because of that moment, man, strictly because I was that dude. So again, man, it's not about the bag. It's not about the six-pack in the gym you hit. Yeah, that stuff is a plus. That's icing on the cake. You got to be that dude, man. Like, your gonads got to drag the ground when you walk. And I'm going to tell you, man, women respond to that a certain way. Even if she's like, even if a woman is like, hey, you know what? He's not my type. I'm not really attracted to him. She's going to respect that thing in you and govern herself according to that thing that's inside of you. Even if she doesn't want to be with you on an intimate level, even if she's not sexually attracted, even if she's not even attracted, even if she doesn't want to go on no dates with you, if you move in that energy, she's going to have a certain respect and reverence for you, bro. Because their nature responds to that, man. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I'll say is this, man. Like, you have to be a man, and to me, this is key, man, to walking in that big stick energy. You have to be a man that can travel the path of life alone, brother. You have to be a man that needs no one. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have buddies and pals and friends and frat brothers and everything else. I'm not saying you shouldn't have that. But you should be a man that's so locked into your identity. You should be a man that's so connected to your source that you can travel the path of life alone until death. It's a different strut that a man walks in when he needs nobody, bro. When he's like, you know what, whatever life hands me, I'm going to take it. Whenever life hands me the bottom, whenever I lose everything, whenever I'm on top, you know what I'm saying? I need nobody. Of course, I love having comrades and teams and the whole shebang, but I need nobody, including the women in your life. There's a certain energy that radiates off of a man when he doesn't need a woman, and that's rudimentary. That's one-on-one. I'm strictly speaking to the bathwater drinkers now, the guys in the comments. That every single woman that looks at these guys commenting and he's like, oh, you the perfect woman, like he's craving a woman. That's why the women in the women that they're responding to don't respond back to him, because what that man is saying is, I need somebody in my life. I need a woman like you're so perfect. I need you in my life. When a man moves in the energy where he doesn't need anybody, especially a woman in his life, brother, it radiates something out of his pores. It radiates big D energy, man. So again, there's no reason. I'm thirsty, man. I done got some miles in today. There's no reason, man. Like again. Sometimes when these women are speaking about how men are moving, sometimes they're telling the truth, and it's just a matter of us as men recalibrating ourselves. And when I say recalibrating ourselves, tying into our purpose, tying into our identity, identifying what our cause is, and walking through life like God sent us. You know what I'm saying? Like walking through life. Like when I walk in a room, I walk as if I'm God in the flesh. I'll say it. I know a lot of y'all get offended by that kind of stuff, but when I walk in a room, I don't care if the CEO is in there. I don't care if the janitor is in there. I don't care if the men that built the building is in there. I'm walking in there as if I'm God in the flesh. Because I am. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking to a woman, I'm conducting myself as if I'm God in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Because I am. You know what I'm saying? So again, just to wrap this up, man, because sun is going down and I got some stuff I got to do, man. I'm gonna say this one more time, brother. Yes, we need to get to the bag. That's important for a relationship to be successful. Have your money right. Yes, you need to hit the gym and get trimmed up. Let's lose all this body fat on us, man, and be fit men. Yes, let's be men that study knowledge and entertain the deepest reservoirs of information, the Kabbalion and a singing of the truth. Let's be those men. But if nothing else, man, walk with big dick energy.